There is indeed something about you. Thank you so much to the learners of Mondial High School. Let's cast a wider web now and see exactly what our youth sporting stars have been up to. Mr. Brandon Yates, we're not going to talk about rugby at all this morning. Thankfully, we are going to dive right in with a host of actual sporting action this weekend. Let's kick it off with cricket.
Yeah, luckily there's a lot of good stuff happening in the youth sport that can distract us a little bit. As you know, the exams are ending in 2 weeks' time, but there's still a little bit of sporting action that's happening all across the country, starting in Cape Town, where in about a week's time, SACS are hosting an under-12 festival of cricket where you'll see the likes of Rondebosch, SACS, Wynberg, Bishops, and all of the top cricketing schools from around Cape Town. They're youngsters, like 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, hoping to impress under 13 provincial selectors.
There will be scouts there.
Exactly. So that'll be great to watch.
Brilliant.
Kids playing without fear and just, completely slogging sixes. It'll be great to watch. Yeah, absolutely. And then at the moment, another Futures tennis tournament is happening, and that name pops up once again. Mr. Lloyd Harris is once again through to the semi-finals, and he's taking on South Africa's Nick Scholz, and they are playing today in the semi-final. And then South Africa's #1 seed, Chanel Simmons, is taking on Germany's 8th seed, Juliet Stewart, and that's happening down in Stellenbosch today. So if you have the chance to go and check that out.
We hate to see two South Africans duking it out, but it's great to see two South Africans duking
Absolutely.
it out.
There are a couple of foreigners there that are doing well as well, but obviously we want our South Africans to absolutely dominate, 100%. And that's happening at the moment.
And then enduro motocross is something we don't often see popping up on the radar.
Yeah, it happens in KZN, a very popular sport down there, and it's up and coming in and amongst the youth in South Africa. And it was an open competition, so any age group could take part against some seniors and juniors taking part, and they were competing against each other. And two youngsters performed really well. 15-year-old Stefan van der Venter and Matt Green, who both competed in open age groups, and they both claimed gold medals. So they're two 15-year-old boys competing against guys that have been there for years and years. So that's an amazing result for them.
I mean, the physicality involved with enduro is a different, enduro indeed. It really is grueling out there. So well done, boys.
I mean, it's all about 12, man. I mean, they're tiny, and but I think that helps them with the bikes and everything. It's better to be
a low center of gravity.
Exactly,
man,
but I mean, the fact that it is quite a dangerous high-speed sport and is an endurance sport. The fact that they're out there competing with guys that have been there for a long time is really impressive, and they claimed gold medals. So that's really
schooling. Love it.
An amazing result, yeah. And then something that's happening this week. It actually starts tomorrow. The Harry Oppenheimer Open Golf Tournament that's happening at Rustenburg Golf Course, and it's an open tournament, but there's a couple of youngsters taking part. Some of those guys we mentioned that did really well in that overseas tournament. So they'll be back from India and they'll be competing there. So maybe they'll also give some of the seniors a run for their money.
Absolutely love it, my friend. And of course, you can check out Brandon online to get more results, a lot of cricketing results coming out of the weekend as well. Where can we find you online?
At BD Yates Sports. You'll find me there on Twitter, and I'll be updating all the latest sports results as always.
Awesome stuff. Well, we will get into our senior sporting results a little bit later this morning. We have to approach the Springboks' rather disastrous weekend and where we stand at the moment, but a host of other sporting results to get through, and that'll happen over the next half hour.